who's up next. It's AWS. Paul Dooley is the global head of marketing transformation at AWS. He spent his career in marketing leadership positions at JP Morgan Chase, Coca-Cola, and Deloitte. He has a front row seat to watch the most innovative marketing trends unfold at some of the world's most respected brands. He drives how AWS supports this growth with their solutions and their partners like Tealium. Joining Paul is Tealium's Justin Davis, who leads the Global Alliance with AWS. Justin has held sales and partnership positions in the CDP space for many years, as well as Twitter and Oracle previously. He is focused on aligning AWS and Tealium tech and enabling marketing transformation for enterprise customers that Tealium is honored to serve. Welcome these impressive experts to our stage. And Justin, I'll hand it over to you.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Lauren. And it's truly an honor to be able to be driving Tealium strategy with such an important partner as AWS. And I'm honored to be joined today by Mr. Paul Dooley. And Paul, thank you so much for joining us at Digital Velocity this year. And I've really enjoyed our conversations over the past couple years of partnership. And that's where I would like to start the conversation a little bit with you today about what you're seeing in the market. And I really want to take this conversation in two stages. A little bit about stage one. I'd love you to comment a little bit on building a data layer, a data lake. Have your comments about maybe how you're seeing your customers and our shared customers in the role of AWS data lakes as it's a part of building a data foundation. And then we'll kind of move the conversation a little bit later into what you're seeing as what's around the corner. What are we going to be talking about in 5 to 10 years, and really kind of putting on your futurist hat for a minute with us to talk about kind of what's coming next versus what we're seeing now. But maybe if you don't mind just starting about talking about how you're seeing the AWS data lake and form the underpinnings and foundation of a data layer.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think we really see that understanding how our customers are managing their data across the entire enterprise, right? So you think about sales and marketing and service and support. There's not just one owner of enterprise data. It can be customer data that's, the average marketer has, 28 different sources of customer data. So the ability to manage all that structured and unstructured data, there's not one MarTech solution that's going to, you're going to license in order to manage all of that data. So what we really see across the board for our large enterprise customers is that they're partnering with their global IT organization because they have an enterprise architecture. They have a number of different sources of data, of customer data, and they want to be able to more effectively drive value from that data to better understand their consumers and prospects, whether they're business to consumer marketer or a business to business marketer. And so I would say from establishing that data foundation, it's not even just one data lake that rules them all as well. So we see some of the challenges that we have with our customers unifying their data across a number of different data silos is a big challenge for them, whether they're in multiple geos, they have multiple brands, they have multiple business units. So there's not just a one size fits all for those types of enterprises. So what we often see is our customers evolving into kind of multiple data lakes or data warehouses or a data mesh, where they need to be able to manage, govern, and control access to data in order to better leverage it across the whole value chain. So it kind of starts with an overall kind of enterprise data and customer data management strategy. So we see a lot of our customers wanting to modernize their data lakehouse architecture, whether it's using S3 or Redshift or some of our native cloud services where they're storing that customer data and establishing that foundation, which is really critical in order for you to then generate value across the rest of your MarTech and AdTech stack. If you don't ingest and cleanse and unify your data prior to making it available to your MarTech and AdTech stack, it's not going to be as valuable, and it's not going to lead to the the marketing outcomes that a lot of our customers are looking to drive.
Yeah, no, that's well said. And I was, my ears especially caught the point you said about 28 different sources of customer data. What a baffling amount of information that must come in from all sides, that puts today's marketer in a really hard position of prioritizing which of those signals is the most relevant. But eventually, in a perfect world, they'd love to have signals contributing from all of those 28 sources to, complete a customer 360. And so, in putting you on the spot a little bit here, Paul, what percentage of conversations are you having with customers that you would say are at their beginning point, maybe beginning of their data journey, as far as a sophistication around customer data platforms like Tealium and using MarTech effectively, versus maybe industries that you describe as further along? How would you break down your remedial, foundational, marketing conversations versus futuristic and state-of-the-art conversations? What would you break that?
I would say it's kind of broken down a little bit by first of all, I think you think about, are you a B2C marketer or a B2B marketer, or are you a combination of both? Because there is kind of a unique set of like business to consumer use cases where you've got to resolve anonymous users, and identity management is going to be really critical for you. And so when we think about the way our customers are adopting customer data platforms for prospecting or for known customers, they will look at kind of modernizing their stack in order to address the highest value use cases. So whether it's, customer retention or customer acquisition, are they able to achieve the kind of customer journeys and customer and marketing campaigns on their existing stack, whether it's their existing data warehouse and data lakehouse along with their current MarTech stack? So I'd say a lot of our customers are either at the process of looking to modernize their lakehouse architecture and then integrate that with the rest of their MarTech stack, whether they're in the process of selecting the CDP or implementing a CDP, and in the process of modernizing their data lake. So I think they're generally kind of running in parallel. Ideally, we would want them to kind of establish that data foundation first before they start implementing their customer data platform. But I would say a lot of them are actually doing it in parallel, because in some cases they're doing it in real time. In some cases they're doing it in batch. So it really depends on the use cases that they're trying to unlock first.
Absolutely. No, thanks for that, Paul. And so what I'd like to actually get your feedback on now, as it relates to, utilizing that foundation, and keeping in mind that at Tealium, we have an obsession with first-party data and how that can fuel what's coming next. And so would love kind of some comments on your thought leadership and what the future is going to hold with the input of Tealium's first-party data into tools like AWS SageMaker, or talking about your recent announcement with Bedrock and Deloitte around generative AI. Would love to hear about what you think the role is of Tealium's first-party data and our customers' data going into AWS tools like this to kind of fuel the future. What do you think we'll be talking about in 5 years?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different solution areas that we're really focused on AWS and kind of solving some of these bigger industry challenges that are challenges for marketers. How can you drive more value with your first-party data across your entire value chain? So that means across your paid, owned, and earned channels. And when we think about your earned and owned channels, it means understanding your consumer as they traverse various touch points with you that you don't necessarily always own, right? So with the deprecation of cookies and the elimination of third-party identifier opt-ins, that's creating a dependence on first-party data. But many of our customers collaborate with partners that have a relationship with the consumer or their prospect. And so we're trying to set up ways in which you can better collaborate across your entire marketing value chain. So if you want to collaborate with media companies or publishers or your loyalty partners or your other partners. We've recently released AWS Clean Rooms as a way in which you can integrate your first-party data from your customer data platform, as well as your data lake, with third parties that you collaborate with. So this kind of breaks down the silos between you along with your partners. So you can look at the overlap of your data with your partner's data. So, and that can be to improve measurement or improve targeting or improve activation, create new audiences that weren't possible before. And so this is one of the things that we're doing with AWS Clean Rooms, allowing our customers to set up their own clean rooms and set up their own collaborations. So that's one example. Another one is we have a clean room capability called Amazon Marketing Cloud, which is enables our customers to overlay their first-party data on Amazon data sets in order to create unique audiences and insights in order to grow your business and understand your consumer that's engaging through Amazon channels. So that's another example of how we're improving data sharing and collaboration with AWS and along with Amazon. And then I think the other thing that we're seeing with our enterprise customers is really AI and ML. We see that customers, we have 100,000 customers that use AWS AI and ML, and they have hundreds of models, and they need to be able to train those models for predictive AI. So it's churn models, propensity models, next best action models, and they need to be able to train that across their entire ad tech and martech stack. And then we also now with the evolution of generative AI is that our customers also want to be able to generate copy and images and content and personalize that experience using generative AI as a way of improving the customer experience and their productivity. So Amazon has and AWS have released some of our own models with Bedrock and Titan. And then we also have open source models that you can train. You can be a foundational model provider, a tuner, or a consumer, and you can do all of that on AWS. And SageMaker is a foundational platform to support those generative AI models and be able to scale those and train them on your own private data.
Incredible. I think the future looks extremely bright in the partnership between Tealium and AWS, Paul, and it's super exciting to hear about not only the integrations that we enjoy today, and we're very proud to be a launch partner along with many other MarTech and leading MarTech solutions in the market for AWS Clean Rooms and Amazon Marketing Cloud. We're extremely excited to be carrying the torch for these solutions in the future. And it's just a real pleasure to get to a front row seat to that with you. And so lots of exciting things coming up this year with our collaborations at AWS reInvent and the Unboxed conferences this coming fall, as well as the Con Festival. And we're just super grateful that you took a few minutes to come out and talk to Tealium and the Digital Velocity Conference audience today. So Paul, thank you so much.
Thank you, Justin, for the invite. And we really, the collaboration with Tealium and our partners really helps drive better marketing outcomes and choice for our customers. So we love this relationship and the innovation that we're doing together.
Absolutely. Thanks, Paul.